Hi, this is Norman, 2020 Cycling, here with another installment of our Self-Sufficiency Series. Today we're going to be learning how to remove our pedals from the bike. Simple task, but has some tricks to it that can frustrate if you're not aware. So the first thing to know is that the pedals will be turning in different directions to be taken off. The way I remember it is to think that the pedals will turn to the rear of the bike to be removed. So the pedal on the drive side is going to be the standard lefty-loosey, but the pedal on the non-drive side is actually going to be a righty-loosey. It's a left-handed thread. Couple different ways that we will, a couple different tools that we will use to engage the pedal to remove them. The standard pedal wrench is going to work for the vast majority of the pedals. This is a good tool to have. In any event, you're going to lock it on to the pedal and then again to the rear to remove. Not all pedals will have the wrench flats like the last one we saw. Here you can see there is no place to put a wrench. These pedals will come off by using a different kind of pedal wrench in from the back of the crank. Same rules apply that we learned before in terms of rotational direction and wanting to get inside the crank to give us leverage for removal. And there will be a left and a right, and we will put them on the same way and tighten them the same way. Pedals can be pretty tight. They can be hard to remove. It is helpful if we place the wrench inside the crank to give us more leverage instead of working outside the crank, which is going to make it awkward. And then once we have the pedals removed, you can go on your trip, do your thing. When it's time to put the pedals back on, the opposite will install them. We're going to turn the pedals to the front of the bike to tighten them, and they don't need to be amazingly tight. You don't have to use superhuman strength. What I like to do is hold the wrench and then turn the wheel and kind of use that to give me a nice snug fit, but not over tightening. Point to remember when you're putting the pedals back on is that there is a left and a right pedal. Most pedals will have some sort of designation, L or R, and this is going to refer to the bike's left and right. And we want to make sure we observe that when we're putting the pedals back in. But the general rule that I use to guide me through most things mechanical is if you find yourself using force, you're probably doing something wrong. You don't need to use the wrench at all until the pedal is all the way in. So it should thread in by hand all the way to the end, and then you're going to use the wrench to snug it up. Different types of pedals will use different tools for removal. We have these here. If you're not sure which one you need, come on by with your bike and we can help get you set. But the 15 millimeter will do the pedals that have the wrench flats at the crank. And the other pedals that will be removed from inside are either a 6 millimeter or an 8 millimeter. And again, feel free to come on by with the bike and we can tell you exactly what you need. If you have any questions, if you'd like to see this in person on your bike, feel free to come on by the shop and we can talk about it. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comments below. If you know somebody that you think might benefit from this information, feel free to share it with them. And if you have any suggestions for topics that you'd like me to cover here in the Self-Sufficiency Series, let me know.